Okay, so what starts as a pretty standard procedure in the Australian Senate, a censure motion, is about to explode into a full-blown political fight. And what we're about to break down isn't just a simple defense. Nope, it's a masterclass in how to take an attack, absorb it, and fire it right back at your accusers. And this all happened live, right on the Senate floor. From the very first second, Senator Pauline Hanson doesn't even bother with a defense. She goes straight on the attack. Her opening words? This is a stunt. And that's not just her denying the charge, it's her basically declaring war on the whole process. So, let's set the scene. Senator Hanson is facing a censure motion, which is, a formal slap on the wrist from all our colleagues. But instead of defending what she said, her first move is to attack the reason she's being called out in the first place. And notice how she does it. She doesn't just say the word stunt once. She repeats it. She hammers it home over and over again. It's a really deliberate tactic, right? She's trying to reframe the entire debate before it even gets started. The message is, this isn't about principles, this is just a cynical political game. So after she's labeled the whole thing a stunt, she moves into phase 2, flipping the narrative completely. The goal here isn't to defend her own actions anymore. The goal is to make her accusers the ones who have to answer for theirs. And this is the real turning point. Hanson drops a bombshell. She claims that a Labor senator actually told her this whole motion was just a wedge, a political tactic used to divide the opposition. Now, by putting that out there, she's not just questioning their motives, she's accusing them of playing dirty politics. You could literally feel the tension in the room just shift instantly. And that's not a small detail, right? It tells you that her accusation hit a nerve. It completely undercut any moral high ground her opponents thought they had. Okay, so first she attacked their motive. Now she escalates. She moves past just challenging their strategy and starts to challenge their actual political power. And this is where things get a lot more threatening. So, why do numbers matter in politics? Well, this question is key to her next move. See, she gets that you can argue about words all day, but hard numbers, that's a different language. And she's about to use data as a weapon. And then she drops it. The numbers. She claims her party, One Nation, is polling at 27 to 28%. By throwing that stat out there, she's suggesting a whole new reason for this censure motion: fear. The argument she's making is that this isn't about her words at all, it's about their terror of her growing support with the public. It really boils down to this idea. In politics, numbers don't just speak, they threaten. This wasn't just some random fact she threw out. It was a warning shot, fired right across the bow. She was basically saying, go ahead, censure me in here, but out there, the people are on my side. And here it is, maybe her most effective pivot in the whole thing. She looks right at her opponents and asks this incredibly simple, disarming question. Do you even know what I said? With that, she's accusing them of not just twisting her words, but of being totally ignorant of what she actually said in the first place. And that question is so powerful because it just shifts the entire ground of the debate. Suddenly, it's not about opinions anymore, it's about credibility. She's painting them as being lazy, uninformed, and suggesting their whole motion is built on a foundation of, well, nothing. I mean, if you don't even know what she said, how can you condemn it? So at this point, the whole thing has reached its peak. The rules of debate start to completely fall apart, and the chamber just descends into chaos. This is the moment it all goes completely off script. The chair is trying, but failing to keep control. The first warnings are shouted out as people start interrupting each other. You can feel the formal decorum starting to crack. And then the warnings get more serious. Senators are being called out by name, told they're being disorderly, but the debate is already just a shouting match. And there it is, the final breakdown. Senators are now being threatened with being kicked out of the chamber entirely. The rulebook has basically been thrown out the window. Then, right in the middle of all this chaos, Hanson delivers her killer line, "Let the people judge me." Honestly, it's a masterstroke. She completely bypasses everyone in that room, all the other senators, the chair, everyone, and speaks directly to the people watching at home. It's no longer about what the Senate thinks, it's about what the public thinks. So in the end, you see, this whole showdown stopped being about one comment or one person. It became a much, much bigger fight. It was a battle over who gets to control the narrative, who gets to tell the story, and it all boils down to one fundamental question. In the court of public opinion, who really gets to decide what's true?